Hello and welcome to Soul Shine Den. My name is Tracey. I'm happy you're here. Come on in and get cozy. So in this video, we're going to talk about the energy of this unadulterated version of yourself. So this authentic, pure version to show up to your work. If you consider yourself an earth angel or an empath or healer, light worker, or just a kind-hearted misfit who wants to upgrade the world, I want us to kind of work together on these next month, this in November, to have more courage. Have more courage to be seen, and in our authentic, wholehearted way, and also more confidence in sharing our gifts, or whether that's in a small community or globally, whatever it may be. That I know so many times there is this feeling I know I can speak for myself, a time where I've really felt like there was more I was meant to do. And it can feel like this soul ache when you feel like there's this greater calling for you, but you aren't sure what it is or how to get it out there, or there's so much fear or self-doubt, or you've tried and it just hasn't worked, or something where you just feel like things are stopping you. And so I was feeling inspired to put together this free event, and I'm going to talk more about it at the end. And so with this idea of being unadulterated, I think of, so many times, especially I think as an empath, that we can shift how we show up depending on who's there or what they need. Our energies can kind of meld with other people, and we can have this sort of compulsion to help and to fix, and and sometimes it can be that we aren't clear on where we are, where we start, or where other people begin, where we end, and we can have sort of, it can be more of a challenge to figure out who we are, what we want, and especially if you have some neurodivergent characteristics as well, which I identify as myself. So sometimes it can be, we can do things to shift depending on the environment, depending on how safe we feel, and it's not that we're not being ourselves. It's just sort of a protective way of interacting with the world. So the invitation is through this video, and through the 21-day event that I'm going to talk about, is feeling more, I guess you would say, sturdy, more, like more supported in being yourself, like that it comes more naturally to be yourself, and that you feel excited to show up in your authentic way. But I think first you have to understand or be aware of when you're not being authentic, because a lot of times it's not that you're consciously doing it. But when you start to notice, like stop, and when you automatically would respond a certain way, but then you filter it because of fear, because of worrying what other people think, or because the last time you did it this way, then it didn't work out the way you wanted it to, and so you censor yourself, or you aren't as goofy or something like that, just for example. So this can also be something for someone who maybe, if you identify as a people pleaser, where you put your needs, kind of figure out what everybody else needs, and then you're like, okay, well, I'll accommodate to that, or, you know, that you sort of switch, and what you want is less of a priority, we'll just say. You may not even be clear about what you want. Sometimes that can happen. I think especially for moms, and maybe for dads too, but I can just speak because of being a mom, that sometimes you can sort of lose yourself in that, you know, being, well, it could be for as a caregiver as well, to prioritize the other person's needs or the other people's needs first, and kind of put your dreams or put whatever you need on the back burner. So this unadulterated version of you, what would that look like? And that, you may want to write a little bit too if you feel called to do that. Just thinking about like what would that version of you be, if it was just pure you, without worrying what other people think, or without worrying about pleasing someone else, or someone else being uncomfortable with your fullness. But sometimes I've found that when you allow yourself to be, you know, just you, the whatever flaws and weirdness or whatever it is, that it gives you more power. Not just, it gives you more power in like other areas of what I'm saying. It gives you more courage to show up in other ways when you accept yourself in all that you are. So just, you may want to take a moment and think about, okay, well, if I didn't worry about so-and-so or what these people would think, this is what I would wear, or this is what I would say, or this is the work I would do if, you know. So it's just something to consider. Like if you didn't have anyone to say anything or do anything that you were concerned about, how would you show up differently, or what choices would you make that would be different? Somewhere to kind of start with this exploration. And then what would that lead to? Like if you were, how would that feel? Would you feel freer? Would you have more energy? Would you be more excited about going, you know, out in the world? Or would you create more, be more creative? Those are some things to think about, like the upside of being more yourself. Because it actually takes more energy not to be yourself. To hold yourself back takes a lot more energy than just being yourself. Filtering yourself, watering yourself down, dimming your light, that takes a lot more energy than just being yourself. So if this seems like something that's speaking to you and work you want to do, I'm offering a 21-day event. It's a free event. It's on YouTube. It starts November 10th through November 30th. And I just want to ask you, if you haven't already, to subscribe and share this with someone, or tell them about it if you're part of a group of light workers, kind-hearted people who are dedicated to healing themselves and improving themselves so that they can make a bigger impact in the world, or just, with the people that they are around. Then yeah, please help me get the word out. I'd really appreciate it. So thanks for watching, and thanks for all you do to bring more love and joy and peace to our world. Take good care.